Waiting for my friend to get online. Actually, I'm going to send him a text right now to get online. But while we're here, actually, no. I'll wait. This is a pretty fun little story or jab, I guess you could say, that happened whilst I was at E3. For those of you who don't know, I work for Konami. I'm a tester for Konami. I don't do anything major. I don't know any crazy inside information about certain things. I know inside information about some stuff, but nothing mega crazy. Nothing that's going to be tangible to you in any real way. But something funny happened on the very last day of E3 when I was walking back from doing the interview with IGN about Zone of the Enders, because I was the one who did the gameplay for that. My friend Ben, he's the one who did the interview. Benjamin Kinney, and I did the gameplay for everything that you saw going on screen. Yeah, I want to talk about it, but I want to wait till he gets online so he can hear it his own self. So this may take a moment, and of course, if you're watching this if you're watching me, if you come in and you're watching me streaming, you can't skip shit. You have to wait because this whole thing is for my friend, so he can see the game. He was supposed to be on in a little bit, but things got a little funky. I'm gonna go ahead and actually give him a call really quick, and I'm gonna mute the mic. So I will be right back in just a moment. Okay, he's on his way to check it out. So I'm gonna wait. But besides that, E3 was fun. Had a good time at it. Um, Met a lot of really cool people. Everything that was there went off without a hitch. I saw a lot more butt cracks than I expected. That's only because a lot of people don't seem to know how to pull up their pants for some reason. I don't know why. But I'm sitting there I'm sitting there showing people how to play Zone of the Enders VR, and this guy comes up and he's like, "Can I try the game?" I'm like, "Do you have an appointment?" Because we're only doing appointments. It's how you deal with business related things. Sometimes you want things to be completely for the public, sometimes you want it to be business related. We were going the business related route. So we're like, "Do you have an appointment?" He's like, "No." I'm like, "Okay, well, if you go down to the lady over there, she'll be able to help you out. And if you want, you can ask this other gentleman over here, and he'll be able to help you out." So he asked this guy, and the guy's like, "Yeah, go ahead. We don't have any more appointments scheduled for like the next like 10, 15 minutes, so you should be able to get through the demo in that speed." So he gets online, or not online. He gets onto the game. We hook him up, and he's sitting on a stool, and he just goes limp right under the stool, and full-blown ass just hanging right out of the back of it. And we're like, what do we do? Do we tell him? Do we hope that nobody else notices this? Like, what do we do? And we're just confused. So I'm like, I'm gonna tell him. Excuse me, I'm eating at the same time, and I go over there and I'm like, yo, tap him on the shoulder, tell him to pause the game. I was like, "Sir, just let you know your pants are dropping a little bit. I just don't want you to be like fully embarrassed or anything like that." As soon as I tell him this gorgeous girl from Brazil, who's there to see pests, comes walking around the corner, and she's looking at me talking to this guy with his whole entire ass hanging out. And he turns around and looks at me, looks back to see who's looking, and the first person he locks eye contact with is her. And she, without missing a beat, she just like laughs and turns around and starts walking. And I was like, "Oh fuck, I'm sorry, man." I mean, it would have happened no matter what, even if he had the VR on. She would have seen that. But it happened that way instead. And he felt miserable. And I was like, "Look, it's all right, man. It happens. It happens. There's no reason to feel like super bad about it. It's just, it is what it is." So, in a weird thing of sweet revenge on his part, he gets up and starts walking away. And he sees her. And she looks back at him. And she says something in another language. And she starts walking away. And she walks right into a metal sign. And he just starts laughing his ass off. It was fantastic. And I was like, well, I guess you'd call it karma, but it's not really karma per se, but it was just fucking funny. What's up, man? About time you're here. About freaking time. Just kidding. Before we get started, I've been waiting to tell you the story. So obviously you remember that I work for Konami. Duh. I had the most weirdest moment coming back from the IGN interview. Walking back, and I'm taller than a good majority of people. For anybody else who's listening to this, I am 6'8", so I see over a lot of people. And as I'm walking down, my friend Ben is in front of me, and my other friend Carol's to the left of Ben, and I'm behind them. And I look up and I'm like, "Oh shit." It's the only thing they hear me say is, "Oh shit." They look up, and Hideo Kojima's walking our direction with an entourage of people. So he's talking about something. I'm assuming he's talking about Death Stranding. That's the only thing I can assume. And I guess he sees... I'm the only one wearing a shirt that says Konami on it. Nobody else does. And I guess he sees me. I don't know this man personally. Hideo Kojima, the guy who created Metal Gear Solid. There was a big giant snafu with a lot of people. I don't know the full details, but basically Hideo no longer works with Konami, and he now works for Sony, and he's working on a title called Death Stranding, which I'm actually looking forward to seeing. So I don't know Hideo in any way, shape, and form. I don't know him personally. The most interaction I've ever had with the man was at one of the E3s when he was working for us. I opened the door. He was there. I said, "Oh, hi. I like your game." And I shook his hand and walked away. That is the most interaction I've ever had with this man. So he's walking towards me. And my friend Ben gets in front of me. And then Carol disappears behind me. And I'm walking forward, and it was like this weird like moment of like, you came to the wrong neighborhood, motherfucker. Like we all just stopped talking, and for the moment, like the world was black and white as we just walked past each other, looking at each other. It wasn't one of those things where we kind of looked away. He looked at us, we looked at him, and we just kept walking. And it was the weirdest moment ever. I don't know him. I don't have any beef with him in any way, shape, or form. I like his work. I'm not a hardcore fan, but I do appreciate what the man can do with the work that he does. And it was the weirdest fucking thing to see him, like, I wouldn't say he mad dogged us. He just kind of like, he just looked at us. We didn't just nothing to say. Like, it almost felt like it was like two rival gangs walking past each other, and who's going to be the first person to, like, you know, start fucking capping fools. Like, it was the weirdest shit ever. So yeah, that was a funny moment on my very last day of E3 today. Shit, I mean, like, what time is it right now? It is 9:55. That shit happened at like 3 o'clock earlier today. It was just fucking weird, especially considering all the controversy between, you know, Konami and Kojima and stuff like that. It was a bunch of bullshit. But anyway, it was really fucking funny. It was really fucking weird. No, John, I was not starstruck. It is very hard. I have to, like, be obsessed to a point of absurdity to be starstruck by somebody, and I never am. I'm struck by people of unique talents, legitimate, like, super good artists. Like, I would be starstruck if I met Junji Ito or something like that. Anyway, let me get started on this fucking game. Junji Ito would be somebody I would really freak out about, or either some of the composers for the Silent Hill music, specifically Silent Hill 3. I would lose my shit if I saw that guy in real life, because he did outstanding music. I just hit my head against the wall. That sucked.
On my mark, loose your arrow into the stone.
Wow, we are picking up right at this part. What the hell am I doing? Oh. You know what, Kratos? It'd be really helpful if I could see that damn thing without your fucking axe being in the way, you ass. I mean, luckily the damn thing comes up. We can
now make our way back. Come.
I am so not used to playing this game with, like, sexy Kratos armor. Dude, this shit is tight, man. Look at this shit. I swear, if he was wearing a full-blown shirt of this thing, I'd see his fucking heart beating through his chest. That shit is tight. Alright. Sexy.
There's a light crystal ahead, just laying there. Maybe it'll help us get out of this stupid place.
He does both. He can shoot on his own, and I can tell him to do so. So, like, if I aim right here and push square, he'll fire. Or, you know, right there. Or, like, at that crystal that's over there. Which he... There you go. And you turn on a light bridge because of it. But during combat, he will actually, like, automatically shoot things. And he's really agile. Like, he's a little fucking ninja, to be honest. Okay, so this is... Okay, this is one of those things that I hate that they do with certain animations. Kratos is a pretty big guy. This dude has, like, the most foo-foo fucking run when he picks this damn thing up. I hate it. I hate this animation. I don't know why you couldn't have just let him walk, or you know, lean the analog stick a little bit, and he actually just goes through a natural, clean walk animation. No, you gave him this little, like, bitch boy jog thing, and it irritates the living shit out of me to no end. That's like his only animation that irritates me. I mean, it's mediocre. You don't see it very often, but when you do see it, you do see it for a decent amount of time. He looks like he's helping his friend move. Yeah, and this dude looks like he's like extra happy. He's like, "All right, buddy, I'll help you do something," but he's like way too strong. Whoa, that irritation, man. Calm down. Alright, let's get this shit out of here. Or at least, like, let me actually run with it. He looks so pleased to be doing this. And it bugs the shit out of me. Oh, there we go. It's above us. I make a big deal about sexy Kratos. Honestly, it doesn't actually bother me that fucking much. If it did, I would legit not wear this shit at all. wrecked.
Keep going.
Little homie, shut up. What the fuck? Okay, there it goes. It went through that time. There. Little punk baby bitch boy. Alright. Oh yeah, we gotta get this thing to let go of it. If you hear any talking in the background, that's my roommate, Jordan. He's doing a podcast. I don't think we can climb this shit. How did I get up there again? I gotta get up there to get an angle at... I think I do. Or do I have to throw from my... Oh, no, it's the bridge. It's the bridge. Wait, no, we can't go across the bridge. That's right. Shit. Nope, that didn't work. Oh my god. I'm zoning out on this thing right now. My brain's not completely up to running with games at the moment because I've been showing showing people how to how to fucking play Zone of the Enders all day. For the past 3 days, that's all I've been doing is Zone of the Enders. Zone of the Enders 2. Okay. That's for the light bridge going straight across. You can't go up there directly from... I'm thinking, boy. My god, calm down. Jesus. I'm trying to give it a thunk. Calm your tits, my guy. I'm not thinking about this shit correctly. Okay. We gotta get up top. We can't get up top from the backside over here. Or, well, behind me is what I mean. At least I don't think. I want to say there's a way to get up... There was a way to get up there that was through the opposite direction on the other side. But to get over here, you need to get these 3 unlocked. To get up there, you need to get that bridge unlocked to go over here for the light. We can't get to the light bridge because the lines are in the way.
My arrow can't get through all that stuff covering it.
Yeah, I know, kid. No, you don't have the ability to jump in this game. This game's more modern day. Jumping is just not something that anybody does anymore. You know, it's funny, when you think about it, how often do you actually jump in real life? Like, legit, when was the last time you actually jumped for anything? No, it's not anything. A long fucking time. You're goddamn right. You don't do that shit very often. I am so fucking confused right now. What? Oh, wait, no. Little. I forgot the kid's not annoying, but he does like little bits and pieces of things that are kind of irritating. Can we go already? I'm like, keep your mouth shut. Hush your mouth. Let grown folks think this shit through. Yeah, you can't do anything with that. Alright, there's still something that has to be done over here, I think. And I'm doing a shit-ass job of trying to figure it out right now. There's nothing to be done with this. That's just a fucking statue.
Now where do we go from here?
I want to say there is a way to, like... Hold on. When you bring that thing back, it angles off to the right. Yeah. Okay. So if you push that through there, and you bring it back here, it should theoretically cut through all that shit. No?
Can we keep going?
Little bitch. Sorry, John. I am so... Fuck. Wait, no. Is that it? No, because that just takes me up... This is the very top of this fucking thing. If I remember correctly. I think. Yeah. It's the top of here. Fuck. Do it, faggot. Okay. You need the crystal to create the light bridge that brings you on this side. That takes you up to that stairwell over there and brings you up to the backside, which leads you into another fucking cove. Kid, shut the fuck up. I just can't remember how to fucking cut all three of those at one time. I want to say it has to do with the whole thing with you bringing the axe back. Oh my god. My brain head hurts. What's funny is I'm willing to bet it's something stupid simple, like fucking, a fucking brain damaged chimpanzee. You can probably figure that shit out. But like, I am just gone when it comes to this thing at the moment. I'm an idiot. Problem solved. God fucking damn it. Oh, hi. Great. Pieces of shit. That's exactly what I needed right now. Oh, that's what you're gonna do. That's what you're gonna do. Alright. Oh, bitch. Shut up. I'm talking to you, John. Asshole. Oh, okay. You can just jump the fuck off the side. That works.
I've been standing here a while.
I swear to God, this fucking kid.
Finally! I'll light the crystal if you find me an angle.
There, you got an angle.
Let us make our way back up.
Little bitch ass motherfucker. He's okay, he's just being really fucking difficult right now. I feel like a fucking legit dad, like I'm not in the mood for little kid shit. Yeah, the game has this really weird ranking system based off of what the characters say to each other. Like, if you hear more characters doing more positive reinforcement to each other, then that means they did pretty well. If they're being more negative towards each other, like taking too long to do a puzzle or something like that, then that means that's basically your grade is going down. There's no real grade the game gives you at any point in time. It's just like an internal grade based off of the reactions. There's another character that shows up later on that, like, if you start getting really good at the game, you can just combo the shit out of enemies and kill them really fast the very moment they show up. Like, one of the things he just, like, very enthusiastically yells, like, the apple doesn't fall far, and shit like that. And it's pretty fucking cool, because he's like, man, you guys fucking kick some ass.
This is block 2.
Not for a while. You know what's funny? I think they said the stranger's name earlier in the game, but I, for the life of me, can never remember this dude's fucking name. I think the day that you weren't watching was the day that they said his name while we were in a boat ride. His name starts with a B. It's one of Thor's brothers. I can't remember his name for the life of me. Rune attack. Which one is this? Legit. Its attack was actually pretty cool, but it's not super useful in this situation right now. Let's try skills. Let's definitely get his bow skills. Get his bow staff up. Yeah, see, like that. Okay, so see what he does here? When you trip a guy, he'll run up and just like bash his ass. He'll hit him up in the air. Yeah, he combos with his arrows and shit. Trip, run up, bash him. Kick that nigga, run up, knock him in the air. Trip him, run up, bash. There's another one they showed earlier, unless I was on a different one. This one, I think. Yeah, he'll jump up and choke the guy out and then, like, jump off of his body and shoot him with an arrow. Yeah, so the kid becomes pretty fucking amazing. God damn it. And he'll do shit like that. When you're about to get attacked, he'll try to stop an enemy from attacking you. So yeah, god damn it, it's not the D-pad, it's the fucking analog stick. I keep forgetting about that. What is this? More arrows. Delirious shot. Some damage to enemies and weaken cause and effect enemies. Okay. Yeah, having his abilities up to me are more important than anything else. Oh, what's this? Why did I bought this ability with my other character and I never used it? Why did I never use it? I totally forgot about fucking just holding punch down. Okay. Fuck it, let's get it. It's, I think it's because you rarely use rage. At least in my game, I rarely use rage. I don't think rage is so amazing that I just need to rely on it. Like, I know other people who rely on rage, and I'm like, dude, you got all these other abilities that are more efficient than rage is. But hey, you play the game how you want to play the game, you know. What was I supposed to do here? Oh, that's right. Oh.
Where are you taking that?
Zen Master Kratos, hell yeah.
Boy.
Hell yeah, son.
Oh, look. The blue door that's not a door.
And a sand bowl.
But how do you expect me to reach it?
Get creative, little homie. Better yet, I'll get creative for you. Because you want to be all talking that shit all the goddamn time. It's not on that one, it's on the other side, that's why. Oh. Oh yeah. Actually, I should probably find all three. There's 1, 2, 3. Alright. Damn it. Oh my god, kid, I swear to fucking god. I fucked this up. Yep, I fucked this up. He said, can we, he was like, come on, can we get going or something like that? I have my headphones on so I can hear every time he says some shit. Oh, that's why. That's right. That's right. That's right. I gotta.
Now where do we go from here?
I gotta baby bitch jog this whole thing all the way up here.
Carry that everywhere?
I just might.
It's like, don't fucking question me, homie. Shut up.
Well,
Something in, back up there again? I think I do. Remember having to come back up here over and over again. Oh, no, that's right. You tell him to go in there.
Climb up. Have a look.
Go Team Yellow.
I can't get to the bowl from here. It's too far to jump.
Hold on.
Not like I have a choice.
This little motherfucker is talking so much shit right now. Talking back and everything, man. Just shut up.
Are you going to do something?
You can reach the bowl now.
Uh-huh. Any
What does this mean?
seed?
Remember the shape.
Yeah, I know.
Go ahead.
Greatest man or tallest tree begins as any more than me. Yeah, it's seed. Stupid rails.
I actually kind of forgot what he's
So,
upset about right
it's a door
now.
after all.
He bugs me like any other actual child would, because he has the reactions like a child should have, because it's played by an actual child. So when like a child's irritated and they talk back to your dad, I mean, when you're a dad, you don't talk back to me, man. You just sit your little ass down. Like this part, oddly enough, isn't the part where he actually bugs me. Like I don't remember why he's acting like this right now. Like I'm completely brain farted as to what we did last time. That's causing him to act the way he is. But I know there's a reason why. And I know at some point Kratos is going to set his ass straight for it. But there's a part later on in the game where this little motherfucker, for like a good long ass time, because I like this kid a lot. He's really cool. But at one point, whew, oh my god, like I was legit like, Kratos, my dude, you need to put that fucking foot down and then like take that boot off and stick it far up this kid's ass, because this little motherfucker needs to get his ass beat. He is talking so much shit right now.
Great. The one with the horns is back. What does he want now? I hate that guy.
He will be back.
We really gotta go back down here again?
Do you see any other way?
No.
Then,
Let's fucking go. Kratos doesn't believe in spanking. Yeah, apparently. Alright, got that shit. I have to go that way, so you want to go the opposite way.
There isn't a way back up from here, you know.
Shut up.
I know.
Checking shit. Fuck off. I like how his little ass like irritates the shit out of Kratos too.
Hurry.
Ooh.
Now I can barely see.
There's light. Make do. Use your arrow.
Oh fuck! It's two of these bitches. There we go. Yes, those abilities. God, his abilities are awesome. There we go.
It would help me if you would hold the light up so I could see where I'm shooting.
Use your ears. Adapt.
I am. How are we supposed to get across without a crystal?
We find the crystal.
Hold on.
Want to try using your eyes? There's a room just over there.
Boy.
There we go. There we go. Yeah, it is. They don't show up right away. It takes a good long while, but it's that good build up to make you like. The game does a good job of making you think that you're just never gonna get them, and then you finally get them, and you're like, oh man, these things are fucking amazing. And the fact that they pretty much are used as the exact same way as they were inside of the old game is pretty fantastic. What? Oh. Get wrecked. Gobble that shit up. Oh. So like I did all these puzzles and I don't remember any of this shit. What? Not moving? Oh, I'm dumb. I need to fucking get a goddamn... Nice. The new Voltron's pretty fucking amazing. I haven't seen Season 2 all the way yet, though. I play video games too goddamn much. Where is that piece at? Oh my god, I gotta do the Valkyrie battles again. Holy shit. That shit was difficult. I know that. If you've seen any of the videos I left online of me fighting the Valkyries, it looks like I just wrecked those bitches. No, those were like, after they killed my ass like 50 fucking times, I finally got them down. Those chicks were not fucking easy. I feel like I'm missing something over here. I am. It's right in front of my face. Oh, okay. Gotta cut it down. Yep, gotta cut it down. Oh, hey guys. Oh, hi Mark. Wake up. What you talking? Damn, he blocked that shit at the perfect time. Middle, like he did that shit to save his son's life. You talking about me paying attention to shit? Shut up.
Sure you can handle carrying that? Don't want you to be lagging behind when we get attacked.
Remain alert and quiet.
See, that's what I'm talking about. A little motherfucker just talking shit all day with that. Something's gonna attack me, isn't it? It almost feels like it'd be like weird if it didn't attack me. Then again, it's an action adventure game, so shit's supposed to be attacking you like all the goddamn times, you know, fucking whatever. Zippity fucking doodah. Put it down. There you go. Shoot that shit. Where are the runes at? Oh. Why do I feel like I've never done this before? BEF. Wait, what? Oh, it's a time thing. I don't remember ever doing this before. Can't go the other way? There we go. That shit was just barely turning. You dick. F and high F. Oh, it's already there. Wait, isn't that it? Wait, no? What? F. Oh. That one. God damn it. God, I am sucking at this shit so much. Alright, alright, alright. Wait, it changed. What? Based on how that's designed, it should... How the hell did it change? Okay. So it reset... Each time it does that, it resets. Alright, go do your thing. Matches in the order. The base order. So there's no B? There is no B. It's 100% random. That's fucking stupid. Damn, dude, how precise you have to be? Because he doesn't do that. It doesn't work that way. So, number one, obviously that's the fucking timer. Number two, you can't even be like slightly off. Even though I'm hitting the edge of that shit, it doesn't go. If at the edge in here, it works a little bit sometimes. And if you hit the wrong one on the wrong side, it won't work. You have to be dead center of it almost every fucking time. And you have to match them up perfectly within the time limit without fucking it up. And I'm assuming I have to run over and... Oh, no, that's the wrong fucking B. God damn it. Capital B. Perfectly in the center. Low F. Come on. E. I F. There we fucking go, you cocksucker. Common chest armor, ballistic ruin attack. More nipples. I spent that much time to get more nipples. I got snake nipples now. And it reduces my cooldown. No thank you. Yay. Am so happy. And then I gotta take this fucking thing back. Why do I not remember doing that? And if I did do it, I feel like I probably did it more efficiently the very first time I did it. My head is just not ready for this. If my head is ready for just like clobbering bitches in the fucking face, not puzzles.
Boy, shoot.
I know how it works.
Nah, man. Nipples, nipples. Kratos got nipples like Drax. Shit is sensitive.
Finally, we can use the same sandbowl that brought us down the first time. I want to get out of here.
Oh, wait. Yeah, wait. I think it is down here. Is that it? I can't see behind myself. God damn it. Okay. There is a, Oh. Those look better, but they kill that cooldown. Where's the last one of these things at? I'll say it was somewhere. Stupid. Yeah, whatever. Let's go do this. Fucking gotta take on Mumra now. Getting that quick turn. Wait, what? While I was doing the actual, heavy attack? What the fuck? My heavy rune attack is, leaves me open for certain attacks. Oh, I think it's because it was unblockable. This dude has this whole thing where he likes to blind you over and over again and leaves mines all over the fucking place. Like, these are the kind of bosses that irritate the shit out of me. Or hell, any enemy. Really chicken shit enemies that always just, like, leave really weird shit all over the place. It's actually not even the fact of how they fight that bothers me, it's when their AIs are designed to just be like, you can't hit me right this moment. Like shit like that. Yeah, that attack, that last attack of his, it blinds you if it misses you, and if it hits you, it'll, in hard mode, he pretty much kills you in like 2 hits of it, and it's completely unblockable in hard mode. At least I think it's in unblockable hard mode. So when he's low on health, he starts doing that slam attack and releases bigger versions of his mines to blind you constantly. So that way, that one slam attack of his, if he starts to do it, you can't lock onto him and prevent yourself from getting away from it. You can get away from him by rolling, but if you don't have enough room to get out of the way of his AoE, you're dead. He's not even that hard of an enemy, too, because after you fight him as this boss, he shows up as a normal enemy periodically. That just tries to annoy you. So he's not that awful to fight. It's just he goes through certain points in his animation where he's just like, you're not allowed to hit me for this certain period of time, period, no matter what you do. And then he calls, you know, he has wings and shit, so he can jump behind you and all this other dumb shit. That attack right there is unblockable, and if he hits you with it, it'll blind you. When he's in evasive mode, he absolutely can't be hit. Even if I'm in rage and I start throwing punches at him, he'll just constantly evade like that and leave mines everywhere. And even though I'm in rage, he'll still take me out of my rage mode, because your rage mode meter takes damage. So if he doesn't want to be hit, he is not getting hit, period. Like that. That should have hit him. It connected with him and hit him, but it didn't count. Fuck. Luckily your son can still see him, so he can still shoot him. So you get to like take micro damage out of him. And my whole rule is like fucking 1 point of damage is better than 0, so. See? That motherfucker looks like Mumra.
No, that can't be.
What did it say?
That we made a grave mistake.
Yes, there it is. God, that attack is so amazing. I forgot that's where you get the Wrath of the Wolves from. Holy shit. You don't even have to fucking explain this shit to me, game. That shit is getting super equipped right now.
We helped the wrong side? Let me guess. You're gonna be smug and say you told me we shouldn't get involved.
That is enough.
Can we go now?
Punching him in rage mode gets health back. So it's one of the reasons why you want to save your rage mode for certain situations.
Yeah.
It's just like using your devil trigger in Devil May Cry. Like, it's literally no different. Except for I'd say the devil trigger is more efficient than this is.
Read this. Boy, what's that say?
Only time you want to talk to me is when you need
Do you want to tell me something?
I said, the only time you care to talk to me is when you need me to translate for you. If Mom was
If
here...
your mother was still alive, we would not be here at all. Atreus.
Forget it.
Fine.
Sorry, 1 second. Alright. Okay, yeah. Alright, now that I'm No, he's actually correct. Like, it's starting to come back to me, little bits and pieces of it, but he is genuinely mad at Kratos for some shit about how Kratos treats him and everything like that. So I do remember playing this for the first time and being like, I understand why he's mad, and it legit validates how he's acting. Excuse me. It's just at the moment, I'm going the wrong fucking way. At the time, while I was coming back into the game, just seeing this part, and after, you know, not playing it for about 3 or 4 days, I was like, what the fuck is he mad at me for?
Was she in the light?
Who?
You know.
Oh, she was not there.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Now I remember now. That's right. He went into the light, and he was gone for a really fucking long ass time. So his son's really angry at him because he thought he left him again, because he has no idea what the hell happened. He just knows that he went in the light, and he just stayed away for a long time, and he had to defend himself. So that's why he's mad at me. That's right. Because Kratos technically keeps leaving him, and it's irritating him. And he keeps telling him to not leave him because his mother is dead. Yeah, okay. Yeah, his son has a valid reason to be angry at Kratos, but it's also invalid because of the fact that Kratos never left him, because Kratos, to him, in their situation, when he's only gone for like a few moments.
Not like you would even care if she was.
Mind your tongue, boy! Until our journey is over, one of us must remain focused. Do not mistake my silence for lack of grief. Mourn how you wish. Leave me to my own.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize.
No. Why would you? You do not know my ways. I know it has not been easy. In the light, I felt only moments pass. If that is of some comfort to you.
That's good to know. Really. So, should we go back to Midgard? Face the Black Breath? Or do you think there's more to see in this realm?
Now he's trying to give me that choice. Like, oh, you know, you still check out this realm. There's some of them old goodies, man. This shit looks amazing. Yeah, man, this game's pretty.
You ever know anyone else who heard voices?
I knew desperate men at sea who, when our supplies ran dry, would quench their thirst by drinking seawater. They swore the sirens, evil creatures singing to them from nearby islands, were in fact their wives and daughters calling them home. They endangered the crew, steering us toward the reefs.
How did you fix them?
We threw them overboard.
Oh. Well, good thing I didn't drink any seawater. Right?
Yes, it is.
You're back. I see you've been busy.
How observant.
I am known for my attention to detail. You boys look like you're gearing up for quite the journey. There's an abandoned temple in Midgard that a fellow dwarf converted to his personal storeroom. Packed it with all sorts of treasures he collected during his travels throughout the realms.
Throughout the realms? Which ones did he go to? What did he collect?
Fafnir was a, shall we say, aggressive collector of magical artifacts. The more he acquired, the more he desired. There was no realm too dangerous, no relic too hazardous. He once ventured deep into Niflheim for a whetstone of all things. Huh. I bet that was quite the whetstone.
Does this story have a point?
Yes, it does. I just happen to have an entry stone to Fafnir's storeroom. You might find something useful in there.
Neat. Thanks, Sindri.
You're very welcome. Oh, and if you find that whetstone, well, it sure would be nice of you to bring it to me.
It sure would be nice.
I'd advise caution if you're heading to the storeroom. Last I was there, all manner of nastiness had taken up residence.
Won't your friend be upset if we steal all of his stuff?
Oh, no. No, not at all. He's dead, I think.
Oh, sorry.
No need to be sorry. These things happen when one travels from realm to realm, collecting priceless artifacts that don't belong to you.
Yeah, that'll kind of fucks up your whole life.
So how come Brock's blue and you're not?
Boy,
Oh, it's fine. Very good question, actually. You see, my brother's not as careful as I am. In fact, he prefers to work with metals using
Yeah.
his own bare hands. Ugh. No gloves. Says it's the only way he can hear what it wants to be. Touch enough raw silver and it changes your skin irreparably. That means forever. I wouldn't bring it up to him, though. You know how sensitive he can be.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, I can see that. Running up to that dude and just fucking whipping out the axe out of nowhere. Like, yeah, homie.
Sindri, why don't you just make up with your brother already?
Me? Make up with him? Because he's an obstinate pighead incapable of change. Because he says the most terrible things about me just because he's insecure about his own work, which, let me tell you, is subpar. Because he blames me for the things that aren't my fault.
Huh? Like what?
Would you pardon me, please? I need to collect myself. To
All right.
work we go.
Enough of that stuff. Let's see what you got. Oh, yeah, lost items. What did I get? That's right, you can get that as a lost item. God damn it.
Yes, dear boy? And we're back to you. What a surprise.
Fuck you, homie. You have anything that'll improve the cooldown? Not a single thing, huh? Not one, of course. Atreus armor. You worry about that. And should upgrade the Talon bow if I can.
How about you,
Which I
young
cannot,
one?
of course.
Something else for you, then.
Leviathan axe can't be upgraded yet, and the Talon quiver cannot be upgraded yet either. Chest armor. Can be upgraded, but do I want to?
Was there something else?
I'll hold off on that for a moment. Let me see. All right.
Another cipher piece. I'll see what I can fit together. Father, I have a confession to make. All those voices in my head, well, this wasn't the first time. Back when we met Brock, his animal warned me about something hiding in the trees. That's why she didn't want to cross.
She told you.
Well, I could just feel what she was feeling, what she was afraid of.
It happens again. You tell me. Understand?
I promise.
See, all you gotta do is talk it out a little bit, and everybody's cool. See, now he's being a cool kid again. Now he's chill. I'm still being an asshole, but you know, whatever. Well, not really. Sort of. For the moment. Whatever. I'm a god. Fuck off. Do what I want. That's right, it's not here. All right.
We have
Yup.
the light. To Midgard.
Big Daddy Kratos.
It's crazy to think that all the ROMs
Oops.
exist in the same space. one on top of the other. It's like this room lets us travel without moving. We just came back from another realm.
To get the Bifrost.
Wait, not in that order.
Well, the energy for the Bifrost.
Put hand to your blade? Hmm? You do know he lost his talent, right? Just up and left him one day. Tried taking me down with him. Did he botch up on her girl?
Quite the opposite.
Yeah, even a blind pig farts up a truffle now and again. But you know what really counts? Consistency. And I got that coming out of all of my parts.
What did you do?
It's better. Good. Now when you're done gawking, I got a favor to ask.
What is it, dwarf?
There's this alchemist on Vari. Been working out in the Velander mines. You haven't heard from him in maybe, I don't know, 100 winters or so. Probably dead, but maybe you can find him. He's dwarfing like me. Wears a fancy green ring. Owes me a favor. You look?
If it is on our path.
Oh, I see how it is. Not a something-for-nothing type, are you? Fine. If you find Donvari, I'll make him whip you up something special. This entry stone here ought to get you inside those mines.
Oh, we're definitely gonna do those mines. So, quick spoiler for you. Not story, but
that alchemist for something I'm doing up
there's
to
a
you. If you're smart, you'll find him.
There's a unique little item you can get inside of this game called a little something called the Infinity Gauntlet. Yeah, you can get the Infinity Gauntlet. You don't get the actual Infinity Gauntlet. It's like their own representation of it inside of the game. So you get a talisman that works as the Infinity Gauntlet, and you have to find these different stones to equip it to it. But it only needs 3, unlike the Infinity Gauntlet, which needs 5. Well, no, 6. So you equip all 3. And each time you do it, it gives you a new ability, or it extends the ability you get. So when you get the gauntlet itself, you can create like a force wave off of your character, which just punches and pushes all enemies off of you. I don't think it causes any damage. The next one you get will like shoot off a bolt of energy that'll like fuck somebody up. And then when you get the last one in there, it shoots off 3 concussive blasts that fly out. That can go out so far, and if you lock onto an enemy, they'll boomerang back around and come back to the enemy, which is pretty badass. And they'll do like a big ass explosion and cause a ton of damage. And that's when you have the full Infinity Gauntlet. Oh, why do I want to use the Bifrost? The Bifrost is for the mountain that we need to go through. That has the face on it with all the black smoke coming out of it.
The way back to the Black Breath.
Of course. We need to walk across the bridge to the Vanaheim Tower. Are we going to the Black Breath or exploring? Your choice. Look, we rode past that statue of Thor earlier when we left the witch's cave.
And what direction is that?
It's mid-morning. The sun is over there, so that's south. Southwest?
Good.
The story of this game? The story itself is very fucking simple. It's the same thing they did with The Last of Us. It's basically it gives you a very, very simple concept, and then gives you good, extremely good character growth between these two people or several characters inside the storyline. The story isn't anything amazing, honestly. Neither is the story in The Last of Us. You basically, in this case, you have the mother who's died, and you're taking her ashes up to a specific location that she wants to be, you know, her burial ground. Essentially, she wants to be buried with the giants. So that's what we're doing. But in the process of going there, you're going to learn more about Kratos and his son and how they treat each other and how their relationship has changed because of her death and how they change as they go on and whatnot. I mean, hell, in The Last of Us, they have insanely good character growth in that storyline. Like, that story is amazing. And fuck you for the whole zombies thing. Whether zombies or not, that story is insanely fucking good, and you really should fucking learn it and actually, you know, see that shit, because it's legitimately a tangible storyline. Hell, the fucking game, they were about to give the goddamn game an Oscar. It's the first fucking video game in history that was going to get an Oscar, but they didn't allow it just because it's a video game. So the story, the acting is insanely good. Whoa, that's right, I forgot about these guys. Zombies or not, the fact that you're irritated by zombies and you're willing to pass up a storyline just because there's zombies in it is actually extremely silly. You're a person who likes the storylines about characters, and you won't read a character story, you won't listen to a storyline with a character in it that's extremely well known for being extremely good just because there's these zombie-like creatures inside of it. That shouldn't matter. You want good character development? You want good character growth? Fucking The Last of Us. Pretty much one of the best games out there for that. And it always will be. And The Last of Us 2 just looks insanely good as well. And honestly, zombies are just in the background. Still doesn't exclude the fact that you can't, like, get the same thing out of it. Focusing on one thing and only wanting that one thing doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be only based on that one thing. Everything that you're seeing inside of this game, the way the acting is done and everything like that, is literally based off of how the design of The Last of Us went through. Like, when this game came out, everybody's like, oh, they made the new God of War into The Last of Us meets Dark Souls. That's what this game is. So, like, the exact same way that the character growth works in this game is the exact same way it works inside of The Last of Us. But I still think The Last of Us is much more impressive on its character growth, especially with the decision that Joel makes at the end, which you can't control, which I don't mind. I'm okay with someone just giving me their story and I play through it. Joel makes a very unique decision at the end of that game. I won't spoil it because I honestly think you should actually go off and actually watch it. The zombies are just in the background, that they just happen to do irritating shit to cause the characters to go through certain unique situations. Other than that, they're not a crucial part of what's going on in their lives. Kind of like watching The Walking Dead. I did not mean to do that.
Boy, over here.
I hear you. Where are you?
Drawing. Maybe a map? Oh, maybe a treasure map.
I don't even need that thing. Word. Alright, I mean, that's fine and all, but no matter what, even if you... To me, the human growth inside of a storyline is literally no different. Like, the characters from The Last of Us, what they go through as characters and growing, is 100% no different from the characters that are going on in this game. If you took Kratos and made him into, like, some angry dad with a fucking shotgun who just has a unique skill, it would be the exact same storyline. It's just the only difference is that you take away the gods and whatnot. The gameplay would be different and everything like that, but it still had the same premises. So, like, even if your gods are supposed to be gods, they still have humanistic characteristics to them, which is what makes them interesting. So, to me, I mean, if it doesn't hold for you, cool. It doesn't hold for you. There's nothing I can do about that. But to me, it's just a little awkward, considering you want to make a storyline with humanistic growth for these godlike characters, but don't like stories that have to deal with human beings. As a matter of, to me, that would help you if you looked into things like that were actually really well done with stories like that of characters surviving. I mean, these guys are surviving. Well, Kratos is a god and he's surviving with his son. Or trying to get his son to survive. Where the fuck is that other little... Oh, it's over there. Or can I not get to that? I can't get to that. No, as a matter of fact, he was actually falling apart because he had no character development. That's why they changed it. He was actually criticized constantly for being a very one-dimensional character. His game got far because it was a decent action adventure game. Other than that, nobody really cared about him. It's kind of one of the reasons why a lot of people like the idea of how a character is used. Like Wolverine, Kratos and Wolverine share a lot in common. Wolverine wasn't considered that great of or interesting of a character because he had a very basic, simple backstory where he's some guy who has unique powers that keeps him alive for a very long period of time. But he's a big-ass rage ball. And that's the exact same thing Kratos is going through. And when Wolverine's storyline was starting to fall apart, they rewrote him to make him a more interesting character with actual interesting character arcs to him. And then they did the same thing now with Kratos. Because, what was his name? Cory Barlog, the guy who directed this game, he was also the director, I think he was the director of God of War 2 or something like that. And he was trying to, from what I remember from one of his interviews, he's always been trying to get him to be more of a personality-driven character. But they didn't want that, so they made God of War 3, and that thing didn't do all that well. And they made another God of War, and it's been falling downhill. So that's not a valid excuse. The game was going downhill, and this game came out, and it blew the fuck up. Why did it blow the fuck up? Because they followed the same story arc design that came from human characters of another game that did human character growth extremely well. The Last of Us.
Yes, she fought beautifully.
Where am I going to? The hand. We're just going through raw story, I think. I mean, there's a few things I might have to do to meander about to grab certain things, especially if there's something that you might want to see.
Who built it, you think?
I do not know.
Did you see something out there?
It is in here.
That tower.
I see no tower.
Maybe I'm seeing things.
Not this one? Where is it? Hold on. Oh. Fuck. Alright.
Know any good stories to pass the time?
What kind of story?
I don't know. Mother always had stories. Weren't you told me when you were a boy?
There was a man I knew long ago. His stories were brief and purposeful.
Sounds fun. Do you remember any?
There was one that concerned a hare and a tortoise.
Like the witch's house?
Unlikely.
So what happens?
They wager on a race between them. The hare is too confident of victory and foolish, while the tortoise is steady and disciplined. The tortoise wins.
You haven't told a lot of stories, have you?
Yeah, but okay, so working in the industry, that doesn't matter. That doesn't even matter from like an actual primary gamer's perspective. If you go off and make multiple games that do really well at first, but then start to teeter off, then something needs to change, because as the audience is growing with those characters, like it's like watching stuff when you were a kid. When you watch certain things like Ren and Stimpy, it's dumb, silly, and fun. It does really well, and it gets extremely famous, just like fucking something like SpongeBob does now. But it's dumb, and there's no real premises behind it, and then people start wanting something a little more bang for their buck. They want to actually have something they can sink their teeth into more. So when you are constantly making that same thing and it's not changing, then your product starts to fall down, and that's exactly what happened with God of War. God of War started going downhill. People weren't buying it as much. They didn't give a shit about the game as much. They didn't give a shit about Kratos as much. They didn't like his character anymore, so they had to revamp him, which is why they decided to go off and do it this way, which is why this game has sold over billions of dollars worth of copies. It's one of the highest grossing games ever made because it followed a formula that worked. Again, created by the guys who did The Last of Us. They followed Naughty Dog's formula.
Look. The witch's magic is still covering those scorn poles. Saves us some time.
And you have to have been doing something right if your game was the first video game to ever be... Well, they tried to make it the first one to be nominated for fucking getting a goddamn... I keep wanting to say an Emmy. It's not a fucking Emmy. Something else. Oh, that fucking thing is there. I forgot about that shit. Oh, there it is. Did I seriously just do that? God damn it.
Boy.
Yes, sir. Hold on. Let me read this.
Have you made it out of Fafnir's storeroom yet?
About a couple getting a divorce. What are you talking about? Like, what movie is that? I don't have... By the way, whatever you're trying to say, I don't have an issue with watching that. I actually like really old films. I like the idea of understanding how certain people... My argument towards you right now about the idea of just avoiding something because it has, quote, zombies in it, is that's a silly argument to make just because you don't like a monster type. Not liking a monster type is not doesn't necessarily mean that something's bad. The other things that they go through inside the game are not necessarily based on monsters. They run into other human beings. The other human beings are the worst threats that they run into, excluding certain unique situations that have to do with the monsters that they fight. The main thing is how they survive inside of those situations and grow as characters. So like, using that as a crutch to say, I don't want to watch this movie. I don't want to watch this movie or play this video game or whatever, just because there's zombies in it, and you don't like them. But the game and the storyline is insanely good, and has created a genre style that exists in video games today. The game we're watching is based off of that, and blatantly avoiding that just because of monsters, despite the fact that it could help you with what you want to do with different story arcs, like this game has done, like with gods that you like, using that stylization of story arc and understanding for character growth. You can use what they've done with those characters because it's really well done and well written, and still apply it to gods. It's an attempt to make you grow stronger with what you want to do in your writing, or whatever it is you plan on doing with a storyline. It can give you ideas. You can at least appreciate it for that. But your utter refusal is the thing that has always irritated me, because I know from my perspective as being an artist myself, if I go off and I want to learn about something, or I hear about something that's interesting, even if it's not based on something that I necessarily love, I'll attempt to at least understand where it's coming from. So that means maybe one of those things like, maybe I am in your boat and I hate fucking zombies. Zombies are pieces of shit. It wouldn't change the fact that maybe if I watch this one thing, I'll be like, oh, that's the one exception. I liked that one thing. What was it? Left 4 Dead had appeal. Zombies. Left 4 Dead was a generic shooter. There's no major story inside Left 4 Dead. Of course, it can have appeal. It's just you shoot things that run at you. The zombies aren't anything tangible in any way, shape, or form. You don't care about any of these characters' lives or who they are to any degree. You pick anybody you want, just play as them, and you either live or die with your friends. It's co-op based. If anything, those characters are only interesting because it's being controlled by other people that you're playing with inside of the game. You didn't need to know anything about their lives. People still don't know anything about the characters' lives inside of Left 4 Dead. Like the game's been out forever now, and there's still no real story that you can really attach yourself to. Nobody cares about these characters. But The Last of Us and everything like that, they do. And that argument you were making earlier about the whole 1940s black and white thing about divorce, I would watch that if it's something that's interesting, if it's well directed and well, To Kill a Mockingbird is one of my fucking favorite movies, and it's not like it's a phenomenal movie based off of what its story arcs are talking about, and you can still use those story arcs and help yourself grow.
So
it's just I think it's just crazy that one creature is stopping you completely from understanding something that's really well done. And you don't even need to pay attention to them. They're just there. They're just in the background. They're not even anything major. It's just what happens between these characters and how they grow in those situations. And honestly, it's more the humans that they run into that completely fuck their lives up. It's not the zombies. They're argumentatively, you could call them zombies or not. They're just fucking plant people. Or fungus people, are just an irritating thing that they have to deal with, just like watching The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead starts with it. You just become jaded, watching, God damn it, this thing stuck to my fucking pants. You become jaded, drama, less surrounded by sci-fi action. That's cool. It still doesn't. See, that's my argument though. Like, a lot of your favorite storylines that you like a lot have all come from people who watched or played or done things that are the things you blatantly want to avoid, and that's what throws me off. Like, you want to have these ideas for different story arcs and certain character arcs and stuff like that, but you're refusing to look at anything. And I've given you this. I've suggested this to you multiple times, just like anybody else would who actually really likes this game. Gameplay-wise, whatever. The game, the fucking game is whatever for some people. I like the game gameplay wise, but some people are like, it's a little funky. You don't even need to play it for that. Most people just tell you go to somebody's YouTube channel and look up The Last of Us the movie, which is somebody just splicing the whole game up, taking out and only leaving in the audio parts when they're talking and certain little parts of their fights, so that you understand what's going on inside the area that they're in. And then they give you the entire story, so it's like a 3.5 hour long movie essentially that you're watching of the entire game. You could just watch that whole thing and be like, oh, well, I see why everybody likes this game, or maybe you might see something unique where you don't like it. If you don't like it, I'd be like, cool, what is it about the game you don't like? Is it the characters? And if it ends up being that whole thing where, like, I didn't like it because they're zombies, that's silly. Like, why? Why is it that this one creature that could show up in any story, hell, it can even show up in sci-fi storylines, anything that's basically a reanimated corpse of some kind, which has existed in other sci-fi storylines.
My young man?
If it shows up, it can be used anywhere, man. It's, to me, like, your grounds for hating these things are just
nothing?
like
Oh, okay.
a misconstrued, like, there's a unique lack of validity in it. It's zombies, therefore it's just bad. Like, that, I don't get it. Like, the other half of it is, like, I know you come to me with certain things that we've talked about before, and you'll give me an idea about something, and I'll be like, oh, well, you can change it to this. And you're like, how the fuck do you think of this shit? Because variety, man. You can't just stick to the one idea. You want to create something in a sci-fi fantasy world or whatever.
The highway cart is still down there, if you don't feel like climbing.
Oh, yeah. You want to create these things in these sci-fi fantasy worlds, and you wonder how I think of these things, because I relate them to other things that I've seen. Like, hell, I've related things that came out in, like, what you were talking about, the 1940s type of stuff. I've seen stuff like that, and I still apply it to things that are modern-day storylines. They still work, because it's a formula. You just have to pick pieces of the formula and make it work together, and then just see what you can create. I don't deny myself certain things that show up. There are certain things I think are dumb. Yeah, sure. Like, there's... But I wouldn't... It's almost like... The argument almost feels like racism. It's like, why hate all of it when not all of it's the same? It's like,
Father?
I hate black people or some shit like that, and then the guy's like, why you hate black people? Like, they're all bad people. No, they're not. You just ran into some black dude who probably pissed you off at some point. That one black guy you ran into probably is a bad guy. It doesn't make them all bad. You know, I mean... I saw some zombie movies that are pretty dumb. I don't like zombies. They're all bad. This doesn't mean the storyline can't change and progress without having to be about zombies.
You think I could carry her now?
No.
But
I said no.
Okay.
Yeah, of course you need those characters to push it along. That makes perfect sense. That's what makes a good story. The zombies aren't, they're not thoughtless designs. You can use them creatively. Like anything in animation, one of the basic rules of animation is even if you make a shitty animation, you never get rid of it because it could be repurposed for something else that's useful later on. The same applies to, like, the idea of something that you may, in this case, don't like as a zombie. Zombies are not thoughtless. The creature is thoughtless, sure, but the idea of using them is not thoughtless. You can create unique situations and put characters in peril inside those correct situations, as long as you understand the gravity of the situation that they're in. It's how they were to create. You can use them as like little choke points and whatnot inside of certain storylines. The Last of Us luckily doesn't deal with zombies in massive hordes constantly. It's just like this area has been overran with them, and they just can't kind of meander about. You could sneak past them, whatever. That's just gameplay. There's no. They're just there as a constant threat and annoyance to be used to balance out dangerous situations. That's all they're there for. You don't need a storyline with it. Hell, the person doesn't even need to know why they're actually zombies. They just are what they are because they're there. It's just a threat. Now understanding the situation that's around them and putting them inside of a unique situation where they survive that threat.
You would know better than I.
That matters.
Thanks.
Now watch your step. Carelessness will only delay us.
Right.
You try to be, but you're not letting yourself flow. That's the problem. That's what my argument with you is like you want to do certain things with certain storylines, but you're denying yourself the ability to learn from these other storylines, these other story arcs, these character arcs, these character creations. Or hell, if you were to give the game at least like fucking maybe about an hour. I have to say at least an hour because it's a fucking video game. You can't in a video game or a movie. Like I could tell you like fucking watch a movie for like 15 minutes. If the shit is dumb, just fucking turn it. You'll get the idea of it really quick. A video game, you have to give it more of a 15 minutes in a video game that has a good storyline is at least an hour or maybe 2 hours to get somewhere. No, the game's not insanely fucking fast constantly, which is why I suggest you would watch. Just look up The Last of Us the movie online and watch that shit. Yeah, they're basically fucking humans. That's fine. To me not everything has to be a full-blown god because we are not gods. We go through trials and tribulations just like any other person could. Kratos is a god. And this nigga is still going through trials and tribulations as a fucking god, and he's dealing with his goddamn son. So, I mean, both are the exact same boat. It's just one has fucking zombies in it. Actually, fuck that. Let's rephrase that. Talking about zombies, you're watching a game with zombies in it right now. The Draugrs, these things I'm fighting that are on fire, yeah, they're fantasy creatures, but they are living dead corpses that I am killing in this game. You've been watching me play a fucking zombie game this whole time, technically. They are undead creatures that are just running around, and I'm chopping these bitches into pieces. You're watching a zombie game. Skeletons are fucking zombies, technically.
Well, there's
They don't, but they make less sense because they don't have any muscle on them. That actually has just always confused me to no end. But fuck it, it's fantasy, magic. Yeah, I understand that. I live as a human too. It can be boring, but to understand to understand the gravity of a situation that a character is going through at that time does matter. To understand, to imagine them being in that situation does put that gravity of their era, of what they're doing, into play. You can still take that storyline and translate that to gods as well. Kratos is a god. His son got jacked from him earlier, and he got pissed off, and he had to beat shit out of a rock. He was still inside of a situation that was dangerous for him because he didn't want anything to happen to his son. It's no different from like a zombie or another creature or a monster or whatever, or another human being taking Ellie away from Joel inside of fucking The Last of Us. He still has to go through shit to get back to her. Whether he punches through a wall or puts a C4 satchel on a wall and blows it up and gets through there, either way, both father-like figures go through some shit to get their child back, and they'll do anything they can to do that. And setting up that situation and understanding that relationship to where you do like Ellie as a daughter, where you do want to actually save her life, where you feel like a father as a Kratos, where you do want to save your son's life. Those are one and the exact same. It's just Kratos has a strength to bring down a fucking mountain. Joel has a strength to run around an entire mountain and slaughter every motherfucker there to get back to the equivalent of his daughter. And so will Kratos with his son. Only difference, godlike powers.
What do we do
So
now?
to me, these games are the exact same.
Right.
It's just you got like enhance gameplay with like combat, a unique combat system.
It's working. She was right.
Come, let us finish this.
Path ahead. It's blocked.
Then we climb.
I'm not a major movie critic either, but I at least understand where these storylines are coming from. So to go off and just be angry at one for one thing is just kind of awkward and silly to me. I feel that what bothers me about this situation is I feel you're purposefully limiting yourself based off of one thing that you don't like. Literally, in this case, one singular thing has the main thing that's taking you away out of the. Actually, I guess two: humans and zombies. And to me, that's not that wouldn't be enough to take me out of something.
Disappeared.
Yeah, I guess they just up and left one day. No one knows why.
Perhaps they returned to their home.
Jotunheim? Maybe. I wonder if the face in the mountain was a tribute to some important giant. The mouth! We made it!
More black breath.
I like Underworld as well, but I also accept the fact it's not that great of an actual movie.
That emblem matches the one on the door to Jotunheim and Tyr's temple. The giants did come here.
Like, actually, Underworld irritates me. I think I told you about this before. Underworld's one of those movies that starts off really, specifically the first movie in this case, it starts off really strong and then just goes downhill steadily as the movie progresses. Like, it becomes less impressive as the movie goes on. And I like its basic ideas for things that happen, but nothing's utilized very well. I like Blade, and I like Blade 2. Blade Trinity go fuck itself, because that movie's just god-awful all around. But I also understand the fact that Blade and Blade 2 are not good movies. They're not very well thought out. It's a very basic, manly, adrenaline-fused movie to see shit blow up and see motherfuckers fight. And to me, there's nothing tangible in that. I can like the film for what it is, and I appreciate it for what it is, but I don't fucking love it. I would never say that this movie deserves like a bunch of awards. It's fucking stupid for the most part. But you watch it, you digest the action that's gone on screen, and then you kind of you come back for it later on when you're in that mood. It's like watching a good fucking porn. You're in that mood for something really weird, so you kind of go online and look for it, you find it, and you keep it, and you bring it out for those unique situations. But yeah, to me, Underworld didn't even get... It got worse as it went on, and the only time it actually got good was... which Underworld was that? Where they went back in time? I think... No, they didn't go back in time. I'm sorry. It was a prequel. It's supposed to be like how they came to be or some shit like that. That was the only one that I actually liked that actually seemed to have any actual character growth behind it. But Homeboy in the first movie was fucking butt cheeks. Blade is Blade is exceptional. Blade, the first Blade, is an exceptional film. You're gonna actually call that a legit exceptional film. I think it's one of those things that's the difference between like seeing under something and just digesting it from a visual standpoint versus actually understanding it from a tangible standpoint as to what makes a character interesting. Blade himself isn't anything amazing. He wasn't like this hardcore tangible character that you can full-blown rally behind and be like, okay, I get this guy is what he's blah blah blah. You get it from a very basic manly standpoint. The guy kills vampires and he stops fucking Lamagra. You know, that's it. When you break down that whole fucking movie, break down its actual storyline, what do you have? What do you actually have that's a legitimate story behind it? He kills vampires for asinine reasons, and he's angry about shit that happened to him in the past, which he was a fucking baby for. He was a fucking baby for that shit. Like, there aren't very many people who are legitimately angry at most people when you don't have a parent to grow up with, and the person who's your surrogate is a person you end up loving. You know, in Blade's case, his mom in the first movie supposedly died in childbirth, so he never knew her. But he's angry at vampires for taking away his mom. That's it. And people bitch at like Superman, the Man of Steel, for being stupid because he went off and like got into a fight because they fucking hit his mother. That makes tangible sense. You as a child, if you're hell, yeah, fuck it, not even as a child, as an adult, somebody just comes up and just punches the shit out of your mom, you're gonna start beating that nigga's ass. Like, it's as simple as that. Like, everybody doesn't have that reflex, but a lot of people do. I like martial arts too. There's nothing wrong with that. I legit like martial arts too, but that doesn't mean the movie's good. That you're looking at. You remember when we had that one time where I had you look at. I'm gonna get back to the game in a minute. We misconception based off of the illusion of sound or audio that you're being given inside of something. We were watching that thing about Inuyasha the movie, and you were talking about this amazing fight that was in there, and you showed me that fight, and I was like, nothing fucking happened. You're like, it was an amazing fight. I'm like, no, let's rewatch that shit. We went through the whole thing twice, and you were like, well, fuck, I didn't even realize that. The whole thing was Inuyasha and his brother looking at each other. They jump at each other. They clash their swords once, and then the camera pans over. If you break that scene down piece by piece, it's them clashing one time, then the camera pans over, and everybody explains. Every person explained every single thing that happened inside of that scene. And then when it goes back, you see Inuyasha fall on the ground, and his brother's pointing a sword at him. They literally didn't have the animation costs to animate their fight in the movie because the production had already been used for the first half of the film. So that amazing fight that you liked was literally not even an actual tangible fight that you saw at any point in time. That's what I'm talking about. You need to actually break things down. You can watch a film to watch a film if that's what you want to do at the time, but when you break it down and actually fully understand what you're watching, either you're most likely going to come to the realization that like this is fucking dumb. You can still like something even if it's fucking dumb. There's shit that I like that's just fucking dumb. Like legit love because it's just dumb fucking action to look at.
I don't remember stories of a giant with a deer head. Wonder who he is.
Giant with a deer. Oh, kind of like a fucking. I wanted to say Triple X, but that's not it. The Fast and the Furious.
No way across. But there's a sand bowl.
Oh, that's right. That's afterwards.
What does it say?
No yoked beast, nor fearful thrall, nor rooted tree doth know my call. Here we go!
What the? Oh. One second. You can excuse your average work for your favorite content. If you're willing to. I'm not willing to. I am willing to look at something and understand that it's completely stupid. Like, just because I like the Marvel movies, but that doesn't exclude the fact that I think some of them are just fucking dumb. Like Ant-Man was fucking dumb. But I can still appreciate it for what little shit they did that was interesting. I also understand that there are certain mistakes inside of movies that I'm blatantly willing to look at and point out, and like, yeah, they fucked up here. I understand how movies work, and I'm sure they ran out of production. I think one of the things that's the worst things, the biggest offenders that fans can do, especially like what's one thing? Not too long. Well, actually, it was a while ago. So I have a few people. You know, no, I'm not going to talk about that person because that's. Let's put it this way.
Huh?
Let's say you like Star Wars: The Expanded Universe, and you like Star Wars and movies as well. A lot of things that people like that are fan based or fan driven are really well written. Some of the best shit that comes out of Star Wars is literally from the Expanded Universe. Nobody will argue that. But it depends on your level of what you like. I like a good medium level. I like my gods to be gods, but I don't like them to be so fucking powerful that they're just beyond omnipotent, unless it's a specific god for a specific situation for blah 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 blah. Then you can balance it out. We've already talked about this like forever. I like balance. I like the middle. Anything that goes above or beyond the middle has to be pulled back to the middle somehow. A god can be a full-blown omnipotent god, but he has to have something that makes him. You have to be able to take them down. They have to be destroyable. So, because I like the middle, one of the things that irritates me is when people fill in gaps for holes that exist inside of a storyline. When a filmmaker creates a film, they go through a lot of shit, and they have to tear apart their film piece by piece until they feel that it works. So it's inexcusable when something doesn't make sense. If something doesn't make sense, they probably removed it for whatever reason. Like producers wanted this piece removed because they fear it may offend somebody, but they didn't go back and reshoot anything. So then there ends up being this gap in the film. Now these people knowingly they know that there's a gap in the film, but the fans don't, unless you're smart and you realize, oh well, they fucked up here. But most fans end up being like, well, why is that gap there? And they'll make up an excuse, and they'll fill in the script for themselves. And they end up filling that script to the point where they end up filling it with so much shit that they end up liking their own fan service. And by the time the actual script comes out with what they actually had in mind, you're angry because it didn't follow your idea. You didn't make the fucking film. You should wait until you get the information that they want to give you comes out. When you start filling in gaps for shit, and ends up making you angry, especially considering nowadays how much canon can change. One of the things that we ran into not too long ago was when I was about to say fucking DC. When Disney took over for Star Wars. One of the things that people thought was going to be coming back was Boba Fett. Boba Fett is fucking dead. Like, flat out. Until Disney decides to do something and says he comes back for whatever reason, he's dead. One of the things that can back up the fact that the character died in the old movies was when I was working on one of the Star Wars games and we had to contact Lucasfilms directly. We needed to know about certain story arcs that had to do with certain characters. So we had to ask him, what are your characters that are officially canon? And he's like, if it's not inside of my movies, it isn't canon. There's no video game, there's no storyline outside of the movies, there's no comic books, there's no books, nothing like that. If it's not a movie, it is not canon. So when Boba Fett died in the movie, he died. Period. There's no fucking fan on the face of the planet to come back and fight that shit. Hell, to make it even more official, inside of his interview for, I forgot which movie, but there's an interview with him where he apologizes for not thinking about how famous there's a fucking bug in here, how famous Boba Fett was going to get as a character. He grew as a character because he was a character that he made to sell toys. Back when they actually went off and joined forces with, no pun intended, joined forces with Mattel to launch a line of action figures. Mattel had said, well, you need a character that's equivalent of our G.I. Joe figures if you want us to make this deal. So he did. And he left the deal there until he actually got other characters to sell. Once the toys started selling, which is a massive revenue, he went off and killed off the character because he didn't want that character to outsell his other figures for the characters he liked. Which is why when you actually watch the movie, Boba Fett has no fucking story. He has no background. He's a shitty generic character that doesn't really do very much of anything. He only shows up for the scenes he needs to show up in, and even when he does show up for the scenes, he kind of does something a little cool, and then he's just gone. When he actually gets killed, he gets killed like an idiot because by getting his jetpack poked by fucking oh my god, Han Solo, by stabbing the backpack because he didn't even know Boba Fett was there, and he fucking fell into the Sarlacc pit. There's a multitude of people who wrote these ridiculous fan fictions and fan theories and shit like that about Boba Fett and turned him into this fucking godlike badass character that he never ever was. That shit irritates me, because then people end up getting this long ass thing about how they want these characters to do these unique things, and it's just fucking stupid. So like, I don't know, it's a ridiculous irritation, and I think it's one of those things where what I'm primarily trying to get at is when you watch a movie, understand what you're watching. You can like a character doing whatever it is they're doing. Cool, do that. But don't fill in the script for the people when they didn't put some shit together and then be like, well, the character kind of did this. You're making excuses for the characters. They fucked up the character. He did something dumb. They didn't write in the storyline. It's not there. So don't try to fill it in with dumb shit that makes you like the character more just because you want to like the character more. Because then you end up breaking your own self, and then you end up fucking up storylines for your own self.
That doesn't mean anything. Something's missing.
And just gets all
There's
wonky.
a second light crystal around here?
You know, I actually never watched Degrassi. Are you stuck behind something? Oh, you're behind the fucking thing. No wonder you can't hit that shit. There should be like one hanging somewhere in here. It's...
Oh, how do
There
you
it
think
is.
that got up there?
and my
Place
stories
must
are
have been
incredibly
important to the
lacking
Giants.
drama.
It's like they're testing us. Okay, that looks right. I can almost make it out.
Yeah, so like, you need drama. Everybody says that they don't want drama, but you need drama. You like this game because it has drama.
Runes! I can read it now.
Is it the answer?
Freedom. Sure, that works.
Well, go. Don't fucking. Why am I stuck? What's going on here? What? Okay. What is going on? This shit seriously just get stuck? Little bitch. Luckily, this game doesn't say an exact location, so it'll just reset me back to the fucking last primary checkpoint. No, this game has plenty of dialogue that comes up later on. And I think there's a difference between when you say nonsense. I don't understand exactly what you mean by that. Like, what do you consider nonsense? Is it nonsense? Is literally it's something that you did that's completely unneeded. Like one of the golden rules for something that's story driven is it takes a talented. Oh, intense. I'm so sorry. I fucking read.
How do you think that got up there?
My bad. Reading and playing games is kind of a little weird thing, but it's actually reading and playing games isn't difficult. It's the fact that, as you see, where in your on your screen you can see by drama I mean intent. And it was like, what the fuck? This thing does not space shit out correctly, and it irritates the fuck out of me because I have to sit there and like read something for like a few. I just like to take multiple looks and be like, what the fuck is this thing trying to say? It's not you fucking up. It's this stupid fucking thing writing things out. Like, I don't know why Sony doesn't fix that shit.
It's like they're testing us.
It's legitimately irritating.
Okay, that looks right.
What does it say?
No yoked beast, nor fearful thrall, nor rooted tree doth know my call.
There are points in this game where they will flat out stop and
Still no help.
have unique dialogue for a while.
Something's missing.
And I think intense dialogue is a fantastic thing when it's done correctly. And one of the best people who do intense dialogue is why can't I think of his name? Holy shit. The director of Django and everything like that. He's a phenomenal fucking director.
Is it the answer?
Freedom. Sure, that works.
Why is he still not doing anything? Okay, so moving the left analog stick does nothing. Moving the right analog stick, obviously, just a fucking camera.
Go ahead.
What?
Sure. Browse.
I pushed down on the D-pad. Okay, fuck you. Fuck you, game. Yes, thank you. Quentin Tarantino.
Oh, thought maybe there'd be a bridge.
The giants need to test us further.
No. Okay, so what this game does, when it comes to the idea of, or at least I guess in the relation to the idea of what drama is to you versus somebody else, no, this game doesn't give you extensive long talk scenes. The Last of Us doesn't give you long talk scenes per se, but it does build what the characters are talking about, and it gives you an understanding of what they're going through. If you have an understanding of what a character is going through, then you can relate to what the character is doing more often, so therefore when they actually get into trouble, you can understand what they'll be losing because you know what the weight of their situation is. It's one of the reasons why you do need quote-unquote intense dialogue. It is really good to have good dialogue, sometimes if it is for a long scene or long periods of time. Quentin Tarantino is phenomenal at doing movies that have a tons of dialogue and having it all make sense and actually having it all be there for legitimate, tangible reason. Even if it's not known to the person who's watching right away. Sometimes it's to create either tension for a scene or to actually make you like the characters that are there while something else is going on in the background. That's an extremely good thing to have. But if some people don't have the patience for it, then they don't have the patience for it. That doesn't mean the director's bad. That just means you don't have the patience for it. I mean, it's kind of like the idea of when you were talking about when I was like, it's ridiculous for you to hate cats. You shouldn't hate cats for something that you were born with. You're allergic to cats. That's not the cat's fault. That's the cat just exists. He doesn't try to hurt you. You're hurt by him. But my friend Alex, she's allergic to cats, and she loves them. They're very sweet. My cats that I have here, well, excluding one, he's fucking skittish as shit. At the time, you were talking about how you hated cats. You don't hate cats now, but back in the day when we were talking, you were straight up like, man, I fucking hate cats. These things are fucking stupid. There was like verbatim words that came out of your mouth at that time. I fully believe your opinion has changed to a degree, but at that time, you hated those motherfuckers. Excuse me. But I'm just using that as a basic example.
Guess we have to go down and go up.
Oh, that's not a fucking... That's... Bam!
These passages seem too small for giants. Why do you laugh?
Oh, you're serious.
I'm always serious.
I forget. Mom always said you never took an interest in history. Giants are just a race, like elves and Holgerfolk. It doesn't mean they're big.
What of the world serpent?
Okay, in that case, giant also means big. There's only one of them.
See, now that was an interesting story arc that I like what they did with this game. I don't know if you were listening to it or typing or whatever. That giants aren't necessarily gigantic. It's just a race. So, like, if you're called a giant, that it has two different meanings. The illusion of being a giant comes from the idea of the name giant. I thought that was a pretty clever little spin on the storyline for them. I can't hit that from here.
Oh boy, he's got another revenant! Look out! Above him!
I was blocking, bitch! Fuck you! I literally was walking with the shield up that way, you fucking whore. Anyway. Your thing about, like, I'm not trying to necessarily convince you to like zombies. You can hate zombies all you fucking want. I don't care that you hate zombies. There are just certain things that some people don't like. There are certain things I don't like. But I'm also willing to excuse those things for something that's actually really well done. That's what I'm trying to get at. You don't need to like the fucking zombies. You can hate them the entire time, which is why I say you shouldn't have to play the game. Just watch the damn cutscenes. But that's a part of the game. That's a part of the storyline. They're just there to be an annoying, to being a nuisance. These fucking things, I hate. I hate these fucking annoying little shit nightmares. But they're here, they're to be a nuisance. They're only going to be in the way temporarily, just like a zombie will be in any storyline. You just deal with it and fucking move on and just accept and, like, actually listen to what's going on in the storyline so you can actually at least appreciate what's happening at the time. Oh, that's right, this cunt makes these fucking things. And when it comes to people liking zombies, it's because of, it's the balance of power. if you like things that are very dangerous, one of the things that can be very dangerous is anything that's in numerous numbers. If you have millions of undead people that don't feel pain and just come walking at you, that can be scary. It may not be scary for you from a story perspective, but if you actually think about it from that character's perspective, it's terrifying. You only have so much energy. It's kind of one of the reasons why I'm not a huge fan of all zombie movies, but I do like a few unique zombie movies. To me, one of my favorite zombie movies is still the one that's based that they're in Britain. I can't think of a name it. Something Hours or something like that. Not 48 hours. 28 days later. Thank you. For fuck's sake, I cannot think of the name of that shit for life. My favorite movie. Can't even remember that shit. Anyway. It's one of my favorites only because of the situations that they're put into when you think about the gravity of the situation the character is in. So like the very beginning of the film, of 28 weeks later in particular, the very beginning of the film, a bunch of people inside of a cottage, chilling by themselves, they're trying to be very quiet, and and if you don't know anything about the movie, it's just like, why are these characters being so quiet? What are they doing? What is the situation at hand that they're about to deal with? And you don't know what's going on, and then it's dark as fuck in that cottage. And suddenly they start hearing banging at the door, and there's a fucking kid there. And they open the door, and it's bright as fuck outside. Why do these people have to be in this tiny-ass cottage trying to be quiet as fuck and making it as dark as possible? And lo and behold, that fucking kid brought a bunch of goddamn zombies with him that have unlimited fucking energy. They just run forever. So when they do finally attack, the scene of the character inside the film who actually gets out of the house and is running, he's running for his fucking life. And you see this ocean of fucking people come running at him. All those people have unlimited stamina. They don't feel pain. They all want you dead. From your perspective, from just not liking zombies, sure, that doesn't sound like anything too fucking crazy. But if your ass was in that fucking situation, you can't fucking tell me that you wouldn't be fucked up from that. And it's not an easy situation to get out of. If you've ever been into a fight with some motherfucker that just shit, you have been. What happened to you a while back when in your car with that one motherfucker? Some dude just fucking attacking your ass out of nowhere, and that nigga knew what he was conscious. Now imagine that motherfucker was just some undead asshole using all of his fucking strength trying to beat your ass in the fucking submission. That situation becomes much worse. Now multiply that motherfucker by like 200 people, and they all want your ass dead. That's why people like the idea of zombies. It's one, and if you're a fantasy person, it's why a lot of those people like the idea of a necromancer, because he's dangerous in the fact that he can just create an entire army. Exactly. You lived it, you hated it. It's not a good fucking situation to be in. But that's why I'm trying to understand. That's why I'm like, you don't have to like the creature. You don't have to like the creature. You just have to understand the gravity of the situation that the characters are going through. And that's what makes good story arcs. It's one of the reasons why The Walking Dead is doing so fucking well. The zombies are just an annoying thing in the background. They're just a monster that's constantly there to annoy them. And because of that, and the unique thing about zombies, if you survive the apocalypse or whatever, if you even want to call it the apocalypse, if you survive it, eventually the motherfuckers just fall apart and die, and then everything goes back to normal. You just have to outlive them. So yeah, I'm just giving you an understanding why people like zombies, but you don't have to like the zombie, just like the situation that they're in. Or, I'm sorry, not like the situation they're in, understand it. And why the situation has so much weight behind it. This motherfucker is really powerful out of nowhere. I forgot about this guy. Of course. Oh, the dog's beating his ass? There it is. Woo! what I'm trying to do is, for in your situation, is not necessarily make you like the creature, but shift your perspective. If you can shift your perspective to understanding why this thing is a threat, then you can understand the gravity of the situation the characters are in, and you can appreciate when they survive those situations. And if they're done right, then you can actually appreciate the writing at that point for what it is, and why it actually makes sense, and why it's tangible, like The Last of Us is. And I keep using The Last of Us as an example because I think you would actually like the story if you gave it a chance. So hence the reason why I'm like, shift your perspective, fuck all the zombie bullshit, just understand where it comes from. Like, when it comes to dialogue, like, if you want to see something that's just dialogue driven, I actually have a good suggestion for you. Because have you seen? Why do I keep brain farting on all the things that I'm trying to remember? What time is it actually? What time is it? 11. Oh, sorry, 12. 12. All right. A life on the line is always thrilling, even whether it's a god or a human being. It's always thrilling. Like, no matter who you are or what you are, that shit is always thrilling. When you don't, it's one of the reasons why, like, I'm not trying to spoil anything for the movie, but it's one of the reasons that made the Han Solo movie not that impressive, because you already know the future of this character. You know for a fact that he's going to survive everything he goes in this movie is not going to kill him in any way, shape, or form. It's barely even going to threaten his life, because you already know the history of the other films. With that in mind, you need to create somebody else that the character's drama can be dropped upon.
How'd you know that was there?
Ooh, excuse me. Yeah, you know what? Gotham grew on me. I didn't like Gotham when it first started, but oh shit, that's a dead body. I thought that guy was a fucking a barrel at first. Okay, Gotham. Gotham worked backwards for me, but that's because I blame where they fucked up with the writers. The writers for Gotham were originally supposed to be the writers for Arrow, and vice versa, obviously. When they switched the writers, Batman's storyline started feeling more like, obviously, what the Arrow went through, and the Arrow was blatantly ripping off Batman.
See it?
Yeah, I see it, kid. Fuck off. So because of that, I was like, this is bullshit. Until they had that whole strike with Gotham Arrow, same fact, pretty much. So if you notice what happened with Arrow at one point, it had a dramatic turn after, I want to say, I wasn't really watching Arrow that much, I didn't like it. I want to say it was like season 3, maybe? I don't really know. I remember there was a dramatic change. It was after the whole thing with Ra's al Ghul. You and me know the fucking comic books for Batman and shit like that. We already know that it's not him who deals with Ra's al Ghul, it's fucking Batman, and his story was a blatant rip-off of the Batman storyline. So when they went through that whole strike, because everybody's like, stop stealing from fucking Batman, they stopped. And the show became much more like the actual Arrow comic book, and his character started becoming more like Arrow. He was much more of a happier character instead of being this brooding-ass fucking dickhead the entire time. He wasn't just a constant rich boy asshole, which the only person who can pull that off and actually do it justice is definitely fucking Batman. Hold on, let me handle this bitch. Woo! Oh, he's gone. Alright, well, that was fucking easy. Okay, yeah, so Arrow started turning into being more like the Arrow, and then Gotham started bumping itself up. It started to feel more like a Batman, story arc. and it started becoming really good. I haven't watched it in a while. Whoa. Hi-oh. Where y'all bitch-ass bitches coming from? Come on, get a little closer, Rick Kratos. There we go. My God. Anywho. Oh yeah, it started becoming better for what it needed to be, and it started turning more into a tangible show, and I really liked it. I really enjoyed what it was. I just got to get back to it. I play video games too goddamn much. That's what's stopping me from watching it, honestly. I come home and I want to try like Warframe out and shit, which I should show you that game someday. I don't think I ever showed it to you. It's fucking good ass game. It's nothing major or story driven like this game is. It's literally you're on. You remember Ninja Gaiden? You've seen me play that shit. It's Ninja Gaiden in space, but multiplayer with the visual aesthetics that are slightly better, or that are better looking than Mass Effect, with a, when you get to it, an interesting story that I think people give it too much credit, but it's overall really cool. I think the story is really sick inside of Warframe, and I think it has a lot of room to grow into something really amazing. And
I was gonna say ancient, but it works too.
It's cool. It's space ninjas and shit, and it has like gods in it, but not the kind of gods you're used to. I guess you would be used to. I don't fucking know. It's like, what if everything was Galactus or some shit like that? No, that's an over exaggeration. I'll just show you the fucking game one day and you can see it. You're not gonna see anything too crazy, but it's good stuff. Especially for a free game, it's pretty amazing. Shit, not even herald status. Like, those fucking heralds of his are powerful, man. Those things are dope, man. Like, and then you have like what is it called? The Children of Thanos, the Black Hand or Black Order. I don't remember what they're called. You have like fucking Supergiant and all them, and those motherfuckers each by themselves can take over an entire planet. Like those motherfuckers are intense. But don't go to Wakanda. They fucked up and they went to Wakanda in their comic book and they got their ass beat by Black Panther, his sister, and his fucking people. I like that. I love that inside the Marvel comic storyline. They're like, because there's a literal scene. I don't know. Have you read Infinity? Not Infinity Wars, but Infinity. I'll wait till I see your answer pop up. No, you know, I'm not even gonna fuck with that thing right now. Comics Explained? Okay, yeah. Dude, fucking Infinity was sick. Holy shit, that was a fucking sick-ass comic book. I just really love the fact that by story, in the universe...
this is a lot of bodies.
Hold on. I'm supposed to say something else if I remember correctly.
Tell me what you see.
Well, they look like men, not giants.
Correct. For you seeking treasure. See the traps?
Oh yeah. Lucky for us, they set them all off.
Be grateful these stay dead.
Okay. So maybe, hold on. Un momento.
The statue! We made it across!
Alright. So, I love the fact that inside their storyline, they had it as being an official thing to where in the rest of the universe, when you want to be some evil badass, you can take over everything, but don't fucking go to Earth. for some reason, the most powerful motherfuckers come from Earth. And if they're not powerful, they're so fucking smart or tacticianally sound that they will take your ass down anyway. They might not do it right away, but they will fucking win, and they will stop your ass hardcore. And that's a global fucking, or in the global, that's a universal rule. Do not attack Earth. And if you do attack Earth, and you somehow manage to take it over, you leave Wakanda the fuck alone. Because I remember, it was a super giant or fucking white dwarf. Is that what he's called? I forgot his name. But he went over there and he's fucking decided to fuck with Wakanda. And like within like seconds, the Black Panther beat his ass badly. And he fucking literally like tucked his tail and ran back to Thanos. And Thanos was like angry as shit. And he punched his head into the fucking ground. Had to punch his head into the ground, denied him death, and then threw and locked his ass away. And I was like, damn, that's some hardcore shit. But of course, Thanos came back, fucking hitting extra hard with what's his name, the dude with the little tuning fork on his head, and he fucking hypnotized his ass and had him like destroy or attack Wakanda with his voice.
Can you read it?
Yes, sir.
That shit was fucking hard.
Oh, this is Durothron, one of the 4 stags of the World Tree. He's supposed to watch the entrance to Jotunheim while the giants sleep. Think he's still there?
I do not know.
I don't hate them. I'm glad they nerfed him. I think he was absurd. I never liked the idea of him being so fucking powerful that his whisper could like shatter the fucking earth. I thought that was the stupidest fucking thing ever. But since they nerfed him inside of that storyline, and he's you know, his voice is still fucking powerful enough to, you know, cause a nuke. If he legit yells, he's a nuke going off. I prefer that. His original design was just over the fucking top. I don't think he's that interesting of a character per se, but I think he's useful as a trope for certain situations that the characters get into, and this is one of those ones where I think he was useful. I want this thing to break. Break! There we go. So I think that's cool. I never really liked the Inhumans. No, fuck no, I didn't watch the fucking Inhumans, man. Fuck that shit. That shit was, I saw the trailer for that shit, and that thing was pure garbage in every sense of the word. That shit looked fucking just raw boot. I mean, okay, just imagine, what was her name? Medusa? Is that what she called? Imagine that bitch when she's doing all of her scenes where she's supposed to be fighting people with her fucking hair. How boring is that? Her hair is CG animated, so all this bitch has to do is stand there and then twist her face and look at people and everything like that. She's fighting. She's a badass. Who the fuck likes that? You know, at least inside of the Inhumans comic books, when she fights, she'll whip you with her hair while also jump kicking you in the fucking face. She fights. Bitch is feisty. She can do some shit, man. In the comic book, she's legit. But in the fucking... that show, she was garbage. They were all garbage. I mean, the only thing I even like mildly appreciated was the fucking dog, and he was stupid as fuck. Overall, yeah, I mean, like, okay, I've never been a big fan of the Humans. Like, I agree with you that I don't think they're all that amazing. I like I said, I think their abilities are useful as crutches in certain storylines or certain story arcs. I think they're useful as just being a unique weapon that shows up periodically, kind of like the Juggernaut. I think that the Juggernaut should be a ridiculous enemy every single time he shows his face. His power makes him insanely fucking strong, to the point of absurdity. Hell, I remember I like the one comic book with Worldbreaker Hulk when he came back, and Worldbreaker Hulk was strong enough to where when he took a step and he wiped out like almost all of Manhattan because he was so fucking powerful. He's so angry. But out of all the people that he could just beat the shit out of, when it came to Juggernaut and his ability to have unstoppable movement, when World Breaker Hulk ran into him, all he did was dodge to the side and slap him on the back and made him trip, essentially, and keep running in a direction. That's how he defeated Juggernaut. He didn't even actually defeat him. He just pushed him out of the way and then moved on. And Juggernaut was like, wait, what the fuck just happened? Like, that's not even really defeating somebody. He just pushed him out of the way because he was like, I'm not dealing with that, which is a smart thing to do. If you can just defuse the situation and then move on, sometimes it's smarter than just staying there and fighting. He would have wasted time fighting Juggernaut in that situation. But it does give you an idea of how powerful the Juggernaut is to go off and go after Worldbreaker Hulk, who refuses to fight him just because it would take too damn long. Until he got to the point where he fought the Sentry, and they fought each other to the point where they both depowered. The Sentry turned into his normal form, and fucking Hulk turned back into being Banner. And that's where their fight finally ended, after they just, like, destroyed almost every fucking thing you can imagine. So, like, that's just an example to me of what type of a force certain characters should be when they show up. Juggernaut should just be an opposing force who's a very powerful gun. Black Bolt should only be this unique thing that shows up once in a while when you like Juggernaut Claw. No. I liked. Let me phrase that. I didn't like him when I first saw him when he came out. No, I did not like him. I thought it was a stupid idea. As I started reading more of the comic books, I was like, oh, he's pretty cool. And then I realized he was literally the most powerful character they ever created, because he has zero weaknesses. They had to do the Thanos thing with him. He's so fucking powerful that they had to actually make him give up his power. If I remember correctly, he had to give up the Sidorak permanently, and he had to just not do evil deeds. And that's what made him turn back to normal. Colossus's abilities, the Phoenix Force is very strong. I liked Phoenix Force Cyclops. He was the only character I actually really liked. He was very powerful, but he wasn't so mega OP that he couldn't be defeated. Fucking the unstoppable Juggernaut Colossus thing. That dude was beyond. He was beyond being beyond Omega level. Like, literally, the most powerful OP character. Like, Lucifer, inside of the Lucifer storyline, is ridiculously powerful. It's crazy how strong he is. And Lucifer wouldn't even have the means to actually stop Juggernaut Colossus from existing. Because Colossus's abilities, his skin, nullifies all magic. And then Juggernaut's abilities nullify all primary damage. And then you add the strength of Colossus mixed with the strength of the Juggernaut made him so fucking strong that nothing could actually phase him. And he was so fucking OP that he couldn't be affected by any type of psychic force because of the goddamn helmet. And then the helmet was so fucking powerful on him because of the enhanced strength that he had, because his magic intensity was even stronger because he was now a being of magic and mutation. He was ridiculous. Like, every single thing that you could think of, they admitted this shit. They literally got to the point where they're like, after calculating what Colossus can do and what Juggernaut can do, and when we mashed them together, what their abilities were, we literally have no idea how to actually kill this character. They went through so much shit trying to think of, like, what OP characters can do this, what godlike characters can do this. They're like, well, what if we brought in this character? I'm like, no, he's magic. Well, what about this character? Like, no, he's all physical force. What about this character? He's psychic, doesn't work. What about this character? This character only controls, like, weather and shit like that, or either the elements. That doesn't phase him at all. You already have a character. Like, what about this character? It's not going to work. Unstoppable movement. What about this fucking dude? It was just an on and on list of things that they couldn't do to kill his ass, and they were like, well, we just have to have him give up his power. That's it. That's the only thing it is. That's how they got rid of his ass. So, when I first saw him, I was like, no, I hate him. When I got used to him a little while later on, I was like, oh, he's kind of a cool character. And then I realized, fuck, he's too powerful. They need to nerf the shit out of him. And then they were like, well, I guess we'll try. And that's the best thing they came up with, was making him give up his fucking power. Juggernaut's story is revolving around several equally powerful Sidorak-like characters. Are you talking about right now, or are you talking about his old storyline from that story arc, or the? I mean, he's kind of had something like that for a while. I know they did something similar to that when they did the what was it called? Where they made him that OP character. Oh, the old storyline. Yeah. He's it's kind of always been there. But Sidorak himself wasn't that powerful when they first wrote him, but then later on they made him into this like mega ultra god tier character that if he ever got released, that he would instantaneously wipe out all of existence with just like a wave of his fist or something like that. Like, he's supposed to be ridiculously powerful, and you get like beyond a mediocre baby pinch of his fucking power, and you end up becoming the Juggernaut. Like, that's a strong motherfucker. But yeah, man, I love the Juggernaut. I love the Juggernaut's character. You know me, Juggernaut's my favorite fucking villain. Oops, why did I do that? Why did I fucking stand there and just take that shit? Alright, bitches. There we go.
The peak is still our goal. We find a way up.
Oop, no. What are you doing, Kratos? No. Get out of there. Bad boy.
The highest peak in the realms. Think Mom knew this was the Giant's Mountain?
No, the request has been more complicated than she could have foreseen.
It's a name, I think. Grasley. It means terror. What's that? Weird. There's a candle all tangled up with string and some sort of animal hide. Some kind of lantern? No wick, though.
That is of no use to us. The Bifrost lights our way.
Hey, what do you think lit these torches? The dead don't need light.
Eyes open.
See, I like that they played with that in the storyline. That Kratos's thought process is smart from a warrior's perspective, but he's basically a fucking brick. He's, I guess best way to put it, he's a sharper brick, which makes no fucking sense, but whatever. You know, his son is smart. He's like trying to figure shit out and make use of it, understand it, which would help them in their situation. But Kratos is like, nope. Stop thinking. Go forward. Move. Walk. You do what I say. You. The old Juggernaut's story was dumb. It probably got revamped to the god idea. That's cool. Well, yeah. No, well, you have to remember though, when Juggernaut was first created, he wasn't supposed to be any enemy that was supposed to stay around. He was just supposed to be this guy that showed up in a one-off comic book inside of Spider-Man. He wasn't even the Juggernaut at that point. He was what was he, the Crimson Knight? He was some generic ass fucking dude. He was just supposed to be some motherfucker wearing some. He had this ridiculous power of strength.
Come on, that was just. Okay.
Yeah, he was just supposed to be this really strong ass dude that just showed up and did some shit. Yeah, he was not supposed to be anything amazing, but then they changed the storyline around and gave him the Sidorak thing, because people liked him, and Sidorak wasn't that powerful. Excuse me. So then eventually they like revamped Sidorak to make Sidorak insanely powerful, which gave you an excuse of how powerful
Whoa.
Juggernaut's supposed to be
What
with just a
is
sample
all
of it.
this? Where are we?
A mine. And if this claw reaches the summit, our goal is near.
All right. How do we use it? Looks like
What a
something's
sound,
supposed
oh.
to roll on these.
Atreus, follow me.
Well, that's not going anywhere. There's gotta be a way to make that claw work. That's funny.
How so?
One hand wrote, Jotnar only. And another wrote, and also doors. Should we add to it?
No.
The fuck?
The machinery in here looks almost dwarven, but the stone, that's definitely Jotun. You know, I think the giants not only mined the mountain, but actually lived here. There's a machine with gears and rope by that torch. What do you think that's for?
It's for some other dumb shit. Don't worry about it, kid. Alright, so juggle nuts. Big salty juggle nuts. That motherfucker has had some pretty interesting changes in his storyline that have proven to be pretty cool, in my opinion. And he is the one character I thoroughly enjoyed just because he's a big ass fucking dude with ridiculous amounts of strength and power. And I'm okay with that.
I think I see how this works. The claw's on one side, and if we get this unstuck... Oh no! I think the rope's stuck under that rock.
That was careless.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir. Stop. But maybe we can find our way up through there. After, you know, getting rid of those things. Look at that rock! Whoa! It's wrong!
This fucking bug that's floating around here is driving me fucking bonkers. That was close.
Our enemies are strong.
I was talking about Juggernaut earlier. If that's what the Who was about, I was like referring to Juggernaut.
I was wondering who woke up every frogger in the mountain. Should have figured.
You had a way around the Black Breath all along?
Now don't go thinking I could have gotten you past it, you big sack of meat. I got ways around most everything, especially up here. Time was, my folk had the run of this joint. Improved the design of the Jotnar traps and built workarounds to boot. Why you think they're so devious? Oh, that reminds me. Watch out for traps.
Brock,
Fuck else you need?
Fuck
how come
else
the
you
brothers
need?
got half your brand?
'Cause I ain't in a working relationship with that footlicker no more. I wasn't about to let him use it without me, and he likewise. Only thing to do was split the brand 50-50 down the middle. Guess that was the last thing we saw eye to eye on. What? You want a hug? Hit the road.
Sorry.
Say, you didn't happen to run yourself afoul of a scruffy fella, about yay high, doesn't feel pain, sounds drunk but probably just slow? Hey, how'd you think I feel?
Yeah, for sure.
If I'd wanted Aesir business, I'd have set up shop outside of Broth. Or a fighting pit. Or a fighting brothel.
Did he say Aesir? Like gods?
No.
Alright. So I'm gonna let him do his thing right there. I'll fucking save it right at this point. More hell. Did you want to see Warframe really fast, or you're good? You want to go off and do your thing and chill, crash, whatever? So I'm definitely gonna load that game up really quick just to fucking check my shit and then bail out of it. Alright, word. Check it out tomorrow. Yeah. This is good shit. Yeah, man. So if you can try that out. It doesn't even necessarily have to be with fucking what's it called when we talk about The Last of Us and all that shit. Just look at things from a different perspective, not the basic idea of what it is that's coming at you. Just check out the perspective. And the dialogue thing that I was talking about, where what I meant about dialogue was Inglourious Bastards. Not the whole fucking movie. Fuck no, not the whole fucking movie. I don't even love the whole movie. Just the very beginning scene. The beginning scene and the scene where they're in the underground bar thing. Those two scenes are nothing but dialogue, and they are some of the most. They are the two most intense scenes I've ever seen in film history. Yeah, man. You don't have to watch the whole fucking movie. Just literally look up those two scenes. That's all. And if you break down those scenes, there's a guy that breaks down those scenes online to a point of absurdity, in a good way. That it made me even love the scene even more. Like when I first saw it, I got what was going on very, very quickly. It's established what's going on in that film, in that scene, but some people don't see it. So The Last of Us. Fucking give it a shot, man. Just give it a shot. That's all I'm saying. Is give it a fucking shot and just watch it, look at it from a different perspective and understand what the characters are going through. Yes, some parts are boring. It's a fucking video game. You're not playing this part, so you have no choice but to just watch it happen. Sometimes that happens. And the guy only left the dialogue in, so it's all going to be dialogue. There's going to be a minuscule fighting, unless it's like during a cutscene or some shit. Because you're not the one playing the video game. But give it a shot. It's going to take a while to grow to a certain degree, but at least understand what's going on in their situation. And if you carry on through with it, I can guarantee you're going to come away with something that's pretty fucking awesome at the end of the storyline. If you don't, then you don't. And I'll be like, you know what? Fucking thank you for at least trying. You know, that's mainly it. But yeah, that's it. I'll bail out of here. You go do your thing. I'm gonna go fucking hop into Warframe, and then oh shit, do I have to feed my fucking snake? I think I might have to feed this fucking snake. He might have to wait till tomorrow. Yeah, he can wait till tomorrow. He'll be fine. All right, man. Peace out.